I know that it's the 4th of July weekend, and I apologize. I don't mean to uh, disturb your weekend for celebrating. I can't, I can't even say it without laughing. Celebrating your freedom. That is a subject all in and of itself. There perhaps will be many people talking about the so-called Negro and our relationship to the 4th of July. So there's no need for me to add anything on that subject. It's been going on for a long time. And time passes and you are still not liberated. You still do not receive justice. You are not free. You are not equal. So what is the point? We know about the Independence Day celebration, and we know about all these things, but yet and still, with all our knowledge, with all our teachings, we are unable to achieve the goal of freedom, justice, and equality, something that so many claim they want. I truly believe you are a faker. You really are not interested in freedom, justice, and equality because you live comfortable. So as long as you get 3 meals a day, you can get up and go to a job. As long as you can have your pancakes and sausage for breakfast, you say this out of your mouth, but you are satisfied with the sausage and pancakes, the job, the degree that you have on your wall, and so forth. You're not really interested in your own true and real Independence Day. So to continue to talk about that is a waste of my time. Maybe not yours, but it's a waste of my time. However, I do wish to speak about a topic very quickly. In fact, it is in relation to the reason of why the so-called Negro, the African Americans, the black Hebrew Israelite, the Moor, whatever you want to call yourself, the black Christian, the black Muslim, whatever you want to call yourself, the names is endless. Whatever you want to call yourself, I want to speak about a topic that is in relation to the reason of why you and I, the descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin, are unable to achieve the goal that we claim we want. I was listening to to ESPN probably. There were dark-skinned men of soul. I call us the people of soul. Soul brothers talking about sports. What's wrong with soul brothers talking about sports? And then when I flip channels, I look at all the advertisement for all these games. This game is about will premiere next week at such and such a time. Jamie Foxx, the actor, is a host of a game. Steve Harvey is the host of a game. Games and sports. Now see, this is the problem. Part of the problem. We are childish. What adults gonna sit around 24 hours a day and talk about a damn basketball game, football game, hockey, and all like that? Only children would do such a thing. Because adults have bigger fish to fry. As an adult, you have to worry about how I'm gonna eat, world affairs, how to survive. An adult, when you look at nature, when animals become adults, you very rarely see them play games. And any game they are playing is an attempt to show their babies this is about survival. I'm doing it as a game, but this is about survival. However, however, the baby animal views it as play. So you see the so-called Negro, the African Americans, again, whatever you want to call yourself, we are involved in sports and games for children, entertainment. Listen to our conversation. Even though we sit around and we actually, some of us, many of us actually watch Philando Castile actually get shot to death. We are docile. We are docile because our mind is filled with entertaining our childish mentality when we have a situation that is in need of an adult to be on the scene. So just like children, you might cry for Philando Castile and his mother might cry and family, whatever. We will cry, but we will go right back to talking about what Michael Jordan did, LeBron James, and the next movie coming out, what game I'm going to play. I'm going to the casino. Things that adults should not be entertaining their mind with. Your mind is filled with sports and games and entertainment and filthy music. And of course, we have to talk about sex. For some reason, a penis is exciting to you. For some reason, a vagina is exciting to you. Oh, it makes me feel so good. This is a childlike mentality. So the oppressor, those of whom an adult should be challenging outright every day, instead of challenging that oppressor, you sit back and they treat you like a child. And what do many of us do with our children? We take our children because we don't want to be bothered. Because we don't want to be bothered with them. We sit our children in front of the TV so they can watch sports and games and be entertained and listen to filthy music and watch movies. That is what we do to our children, and that is what this is what the racist Caucasian people have done to the so-called Negro in America. Sit you in front of a TV. And since you have a childlike mind, just like children, when children come around adults, children are not taken seriously. You listen to your child and you hear their advice and you listen to what they have to say, but children are not taken seriously. Matter of fact, many adults don't even want children in the room. Look, adults are talking. You need to go sit down somewhere. So the children have mock elections, and children go through these things to make them look like adults, but they are mock elections to make them feel like they are part of something. So when we had the presidential election in schools, you had these children voting for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton or whatever, but your vote, that child's vote, that election don't mean nothing. It's the same thing with the so-called Negro in America. You sit around and you go to the voting poll and you speak your mind on TV and whatever. It don't mean nothing because you are a child. Don't speak when adults are talking. The ultimate decision in your household, you have children, but the ultimate decision in your household is what the adults come up with. The ultimate decision is with the government. The government does not care nothing about those with childlike mentality. Go somewhere and sit down. I will give you an illusion or a facade that you're part of a process, but really you're not. The ultimate decision is the parent or the government. So we should not be shocked and we should not be surprised at our children, because children are raising children. You have young teenagers raising babies, but you also have people with childlike mentality raising children. It's the same thing, and you wonder why the condition of this society, the condition of the human being on this planet is in such bad shape, because the adults have yet to grow up. So we have on social media, you have a bunch of Negroes. I'm becoming, I am becoming what I say that I'm trying not to become, because I call y'all a Negro. I apologize. I have to be an adult. There are many of us who call ourselves coon, call people coons. Oh, you filled with self-hate. You an agent and you a spy. You say these things because you are unable to, first of all, you are unable to refute whatever is brought to your attention, and you are immature. You don't know how to talk to another person in a civil, respectful manner. You don't know how to engage. Just like children. Children have a difficult time interacting with other children because the mind is immature. So just like a parent, when you get sick of your children acting up or whatever, you give them a timeout. Look, I can't take this no more. I'm going to mess around and hurt you. So you tell your children, you put them to bed, you give them a timeout. In other words, go somewhere and sit your ass down before you have to make me do something to you. And that's what Caucasian people do to grown, so-called adult black men and women in this country. You hoop and you holler and you protest or whatever, but when this cracker, when this beast, when this devil decides I done had enough, then he tells you in a firm voice, you better go sit your ass down, and you do it because you know what's going to happen, because you know what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next is an ass whooping, and you know that. Children know that. So most times, children chill out. When mom and daddy said, you need to sit down and take a time out, most children in their right state of mind, that's exactly what they do because they don't want the ass whooping that's going to come. Nowhere in history can you show me where physical children or anybody with a childlike mentality has liberated themselves from an oppressor, especially coming from a slave situation, because being a slave, then on top of that, you have not matured. Once you become free, you have not matured. You still have the mind of a slave. You have the mind of a child. In other words, good Lord, we is messed up. We is really, really, really messed up. So you don't want to hear somebody telling you the truth. Instead of working on ourselves, instead of straightening out what our problem is, you a coon, you a self-hater, you an agent, you a spy. That's what children do. Nah, 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 nah. You a coon. Nah, 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 nah. Are you full of self-hate? Nah, 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 nah. He an agent. Nah, 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 nah. You a spy. You wearing European clothes. You need to wear a dashiki like me. Children. And as a child, many children do wacky and crazy things, and they take certain risks as a child, as a teenager. The reason why the child and the reason why the immature teenager would take certain risks, because in the back of their mind, they know that their parents got their back. So mommy and daddy will bail me out of jail. If I get pregnant, they will help me take care of the child. They know whatever I do silly, mom and daddy got my back. And that's the way it is. And this is the reason why you really don't want liberation. This is the reason why you really don't want justice, is because, and you really don't want to separate, is because you know that this cracker got your back. You know that your real parent, this pink man, has your back. He gives you a job. He gives you a way to get water and food. He educates you. This cracker got your back. But if you let him go, then who got your back? You have to become an adult, and that's something y'all don't want to do. You have people like Taalik and Umar Johnson, intellectuals, people like this, running around calling people coons and all this other Negroes and all this other mockery stuff. Children. And then children have make-believe friends. And we do this in our religion. We worship these make-believe, fictional, invisible gods and spirits and the same thing as children, but you don't view yourself as a child. You view yourself as some kind of an adult. What kind of adult are you? The only adult that you could be is mentally retarded. And a mentally retarded person is simply one in an adult mind, but has an adult mind, has a childlike mind in an adult body. That's mental retardation. Your mind has not caught up with your physical stature. can I talk to my audience? Can I talk to you? The last maybe 6 or 7 videos, I've really pissed some people off. They don't like what I say and they unsubscribe. And well, I hope that the grass is greener on the other side of the pasture. I wish you the best of luck. However, when you leave, if you leave, I mean, it is your loss, because I mean us no harm. I am simply, and it is my mission to bring us what I call real truth. And for some of us, even though we claim we want truth, we reject it, because truth does not come in the vessel or in the manner that we believe it should come. So we reject it. As for me, I don't care who says or speaks the truth, the real truth. I don't care about the vessel. All I care about is the truth. And I am willing to throw away everything else that I think that I know and embrace that truth. When I bring real truth to us, I bring it with logic, being rational, reason, and common sense. This is why it is difficult to debunk. It's difficult to refute. Your brain is telling you that this person is telling you right, but you are loyal to these belief systems, this rhetoric that is filled with some truth, but also error and flaw, or just outright lies. And if you hate me for telling the truth, then so be it. But one thing for sure, you will never be able to say you did not know, because I spoke it to you plainly, I spoke it to you very simply, and I brought it to you in the language that you understand, that what we call English. I am not interested in making you feel good. That is not my mission. That is not my purpose, because I understand that truth hurts. But again, it hurts those who really don't like it. You love your lies. You love your error and your flaw. You love your feel-good teaching. I am not religious. I am not spiritual. I am not of black conscience. I'm not here to make you feel good. The descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin going on now for 500 years. And people have been making you feel good in religion, in your spirituality, in your black conscience. Going on 500 years, and your condition has not gotten any better. In fact, it's gotten worse. So now you need a voice to stop coddling you. You need a voice that does love you, but bring you tough love. And give you a reality check, so that in hopes that in your mind, so that you think for yourself, so that you can understand the reality that you face, so that you can save your life and make the future of your generations better. If not, then it would be another 500 years of this in this condition, or you would be made to die. You would be made to go extinct. I was speaking with my Facebook friends, and they were telling me, or he rather, was telling me, he understands exactly what I'm saying, and he has no problem with my me. He wants me to understand that the people of soul, we are on different levels. So I cannot expect everybody to be we must be able to be patient as people begin to grow in understanding. And my response to him is simply, it's been going on 500 years. How long is it going to take you to mature? How long are you going to stay on that level? When are you going to graduate? When are you going to get your diploma? When are you going to get your degree? When are you going to get a job? How long? Going on 500 years. You have your degree in religion and spirituality and your degrees in black consciousness. You've been on these levels. You have yet to graduate. You have yet to pass the test of a free people. You still continue and operate, and your mentality is still like that of a slave. That's why many of you can't comprehend what comes from this rostrum, because only a mind that is becoming liberated can understand where I'm coming from. A slave mentality cannot, because a slave mentality has never been independent. A slave's mind is not free. The only thing a slave can do is regurgitate whatever it has chosen as a massa. So your massa might not be a pink person, but your massa is now what you think you learned from John Henry Clark or Dr. Ben or Polite or from the House of Consciousness. You have to have a slave master to do your thinking for you. I don't want you here if you can't think for yourself. I'm not looking for slaves. I'm not looking for converts to religion. I'm simply looking to liberate us. And you can believe and do what you want. I just want you free out of the hands of an oppressor. I don't want you to be like me. I don't want you to think like me. I don't want you to dress like me. I want you to be you. And you can still be you, but liberate your mind and learn how to understand, compromise, and work with other people who are oppressed just like yourself. We need to grow up. You get angry like the child running in the street, and you tell that child in a nice way, get out of the street, honey. Get out of the street, honey. Listen to me. When the child's life is in danger, you can't cuddle the child. You can't speak. Oh, get out the child. Get out the street, baby. This child is putting him or herself in a position where they can be run over and killed by a car. So you run, grab the child, and then the car passed by, barely missing the child. You save the child's life, and the child get angry at you because you bruised my arm. You hurt my leg when you ran out in the street to snatch the child. The child don't even realize you was saving the child's life. So you get angry at Angel Snuffing Up 7 because my words bruise your ego, hurt your arm, offend your spirituality, whatever it is. And I'm out trying to save your life. You get angry at those trying to save your life. I snatched the liquor bottle out your hand. I snatched the reefer and the drugs out of your mouth. And you get angry at those who want to save you. So in religious teachings, I become Christ-like. I become like the Jesus. I come to save you from yourself, from your own vices. I come unto my own, but my own receive me not. You hate me because I'm trying to save your life. Jesus was hated because he was trying to save the lives of those of whom he came before. Now listen. When I was locked up, I did what I had to do to get out of that situation. I used any information. I don't care what the source was. I used any information I could get my hands on in order to help me out of this incarceration. I talked to Caucasian people. I helped Caucasian people as well as brothers and sisters of soul or Mexican or whoever it was I was locked up with. I did not care. And y'all don't think this way. When you are locked up, if you really truly want to be free, you can't trip on the color of somebody's skin, what they believe in. The only thing should be on your mind is, look, I'm in a situation, I got to get out. So I don't have to like you. I don't have to love you. My freedom and my want for freedom and liberation is more important than whether I like you or not. But some of you, and you act just like other dark-skinned people around this earth. Your hatred for another dark-skinned person, your dislike for somebody who don't believe the way that you believe, you would rather stay locked up, you would rather die than unite and compromise with another person who is in the same situation that you're in. That makes you sick. The reason why I am able to speak to you right now is because I was able to look beyond skin color. I was able to look beyond belief and gender. The only thing on my mind is, what can I do to get out of this? I have to find the right knowledge in order to get out of here. Otherwise, I will die in here. And they told me all the time, you are going to die behind these bars. All the time. Almost every day. We should be like this. There was a sister that I really had love for, and I should have married this sister. Let me show you a picture of my beautiful, y'all said God and queens and goddesses and all that. She fits this category. For real. Where's she at? There she is. I should have, if I had an opportunity, I should have married this woman. Such a beautiful person inside and out. And she understood me, and we were different. When I met her, I was a Muslim. She was a Christian. And every time we talked, we argued back and forth. Back and forth. Debates. You know, like y'all on social media do? Y'all debate back and forth. But when you debate back and forth, it grows into hatred. It grows to the point where you could even murder the other person. But her and I, we saw beyond a belief. She saw me beyond Muslim. I saw her beyond a Christian. I saw her as the human being she is, and she saw me as the human being I was, and we saw two beautiful, sincere, honest, loving people. And that's what's more important, and that's what attracted us to one another, because we were able to see ourselves beyond a belief or a title. So we argued all the time, but we argued in love. Man, I love this woman. I just even like looking at her picture. If only I could contact her and talk to her. She just don't know how much I miss her. And she was a Christian. I was a Muslim. Two different beliefs. We argued and we debated, but we did it out of love. We argued and debated, but we had respect for one another. She never tried to make a Christian out of me, and I never tried to make a Muslim out of her. What we should have done is what I should have done is try to make a wife out of her. That's we make mistakes in life. So we must do what we have to do in order to survive. So in nature, and like I was speaking earlier about the brother who was telling me we are on these different levels. Well, in nature, you don't have long to stay on a certain level. Because if you stay on a level that is dangerous to your life, you're not going to be around too long. The top 3 victims of a predator in nature is if you are a baby, if you are elderly, or if you are a fool. The predator chooses the baby because the babies do not know any better. They are weak, easy victims. The predator chooses the elderly because they are weak, easy victims. And of course the sick. And the predator chooses the fool because the fool's supposed to know better, but they decide, I'm going to do what I want to do. And they go outside of what they know they shouldn't and end up as prey eaten by the predator. Those who can't reach, or those who refuse to be on the level of consciousness, on guard like they should, end up as a victim of a predator. Babies, the sick, the elderly, and fools. And we fit in all these categories because we're childish in the mind. We have been here going on 500 years. We're old, but we still don't know no better. We're sick in the mind, and we act like fools because you would rather hate me than unite with me so that we can get out of this situation. Once you get out of the situation, then you can go your way, I can go my way. But if you unite, you will be like myself and that sister. Get to know who I am beyond me being who I am. I look beyond you being a Christian or a Muslim or a Moor or Kemetic or whatever you call yourself. I look at you as my soul brother, my soul sister. Let us work together to get out of this situation. I respect you as a person, and I love us. But you don't want to view other people in struggle. You want to try to force your belief on others. You are African. You are Christian. You more into that. And while you debating and arguing over that, here comes the predator and eat all of you. So the end result is all of you will die. So what did you accomplish? And in nature, that's what happened to fools. You end up dead. You end up extinct. Is that what you want? Is that what you're looking for? Continue on the path that y'all walking. Because that's what you're going to get. Extinction. You're going to end up dead.
All right. Now, there's a problem in the black community. And the problem in the black community is, it's mind-boggling to many of us why we don't want to be independent from Caucasian people, why we don't want to be free. Some of us think that we are free. Some of us think that we are independent. And I want to, those of you who become frustrated, you probably already know this, but I just want to remind us, because dealing with black folks is very frustrating. These black people can wear you out. And I want to tell you or remind you why it's so difficult to work with black people. One of the reasons. There are a few others, but we're going to concentrate on this one because this one here is probably the foundation that holds up the rest of it. Now, I want to give you a quick example. When a person goes to jail, now they was not born in jail, they was born free, Well, actually, if you are black being born in America, you are never free. But I'm just going to say you just don't have any chains on you. So when you were born, you were free. There is no child, male or female, that says, oh, when I grow up, I want to go to prison. Oh, when I grow up, I want to go to a mental institution. Oh, when I grow up, I like to go to jail. There's nobody in their right mind as a child that would ever say, oh, when I grow up, I want to be incarcerated. So, incarceration is a consequence of circumstance. And many times, we are the responsible party. We do something sometimes because we can be incarcerated, not of our choice. But we're going to say, we're not going to talk about innocent or guilty. We're going to talk about incarceration. So you're free. And when persons first get locked up, when incarceration is new, since you know, listen to what I'm saying to you. Since you know what freedom was, you want to get out of jail. You want to get out of prison because you knew what freedom was. So when you first speak to black people, the problem that we have in trying to relate to our people about being free is that they have never known freedom. They was not born into freedom. The only thing they know is some form of incarceration, some form of being under the authority of somebody other than themselves, somebody that don't look like them. That's all they know. So they think that incarceration is freedom. Just like your dog. You raised that dog from a puppy. The only freedom that dog ever knew was living in your house. That dog does not know anything about going out into the free world and catching a rabbit or doing something on his own. It always has been under your authority. Then, once a person becomes incarcerated, there's something called a person being institutionalized, meaning they have accepted that incarceration and now they just learn how to live in that incarceration. So, many of y'all think that people are really trying to get out of these jails and prisons and mental institutions, and they really are not, because they become institutionalized. This is their way of life. So when we talk to black people, African Americans, so-called Negro, those born descendants of slaves in America, it is difficult to talk to them because this is the only life they know. They become institutionalized in America. They don't mind the guard at the prison cell. This is all that they know. We have become just like your pet dog. This is the only life we know. We don't know how to work outside of white people. But then these same white people, when they are unable, don't need you to hunt no more, don't need you to do tricks no more, don't need you for anything. They want to drive you somewhere and abandon you on the side of the road, but they don't know how to do it. They can't get that job done. So the dog is able to stay at home and keep begging and keep begging. And then you think, and you have the nerve to try to take over your master's house. You want to eat steak. You tired of dog biscuits. I'm not comparing us to no dog, but I'm trying to give you an example, an analogy of our mentality. We become institutionalized. And I will even go to say this. Even those that holler black power, hotep, ashe, assalamu alaikum, praise Yahweh, even those individuals are still institutionalized. Because, see, you live comfortable in your jail cell. I know from experience. Because when I first got locked up, I really wanted to get free. But after a certain period of time, you sort of begin to like your incarceration because you still get everything that you want. You just can't go nowhere. You can still get the women. You can still get your drugs. You get 3 meals a day. You don't have to pay no bills. Get to play basketball every day. So you get comfortable. These people are comfortable in their jail cell. But one day, I woke up and just decided, no more. Because I'm better than this. The black people of America don't think they are better than how they're living right now. They are satisfied being institutionalized. I woke up one day and said, look, I got to get out of here. And see, another thing, when you have not been free for a long time, it scares you. These black people are afraid to leave white folks. What am I going to do? That's the way I felt. I was afraid. I was locked up for a lot of years. And I was afraid to be free. Yes, I say it. I was institutionalized, and then when I thought about being free, I was afraid. How I'm going to live, how I'm going to take care of myself. Things have changed. All these different thoughts in my head. But I began to think and look in the mirror and look at myself, know who I am. And I had to begin to say, I'm better than this. I need my freedom. I can do better than this. To hell with these women in this place. To hell with their food, their TV. I want nothing to do with it. I want out of here. That began my journey to get free. By any means necessary within their law, because I didn't want to jump the fence and have police chasing me. So I want to be free, but I didn't want nobody, the slave catcher, running and chasing me. So that's the problem with black America. That's the problem, Nation of Islam. That's the problem, Hebrew Israelites. That's the problem, Sarah Sudan Seti. That's the problem, Moore Science Temple. That's the problem, Ray Hagen, with our people. They are institutionalized. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? They don't see themselves better than this. They don't think they can become just as good or greater than the white man. Now, they would say it with their mouth, but when you see their actions, you see scared little children. So when I decided I'm going to be free, I just take my chances. If I die, I'm homeless on the street. I got to drink ditch water. I got to sell cans. Whatever might be, I have to go through. So be it, but I got to get the hell out of here because I can do better. Because under incarceration, you can't get better. It's to keep you locked down. It's to keep you in a certain position and place. You're there to benefit those who work for this system. So as long as black people are in America, you are here to benefit the white people in power. Our community suffer. Their community build up. Everybody's community build up. But ours steady go down because we are institutionalized. We are incarcerated. And those who are incarcerated, they only benefit those who captured them. Another form of slavery. Now, when you do a crime, you should be punished. But we as a people, we have committed no crime to deserve what has happened to us for over 40 years. There's not a crime that can be committed to justify us going through what we've been through.
Peace, soul brothers and sisters. I am Soul Brother Eric, an assistant to Angel Snup Snup 7. The title of this video is The Corruption of Black Leaders. I will be going into the corruption that has further led people of soul in this country into deeper ignorance, whether it's so-called spiritually or religiously or mentally. So in this video intro part, I was just leaving that on notice. Okay, family, greetings to all my fellow people of soul here in the penitentiary confines of North America. My topic is be aware of false leaders and their organizations. Today, my fellow people of soul here in the prison border confines of America, I am advising you from experience and the total facts that concern this titled video subject called Be Aware of False Leaders and their organizations. It's been too long since we came out of chattel slavery here in America that we as a so-called African American people have continuously allowed ourselves to be pushed further into the grave of death mentally and emotionally with pseudo so-called black conscious teachings that still have not gotten us as a people of soul to the promised land that false leaders and teachers keep talking about. While being under the mental chains of slave bondage to the pink Caucasian Europeans' Christian religion, we unknowingly are indoctrinated with other additional slave bondage teachings under the cloak of black consciousness that has not allowed us to produce our own unique way of life as descendants of so-called Negro slaves here in America, nor has it led us to being totally liberated as a people from the pink Caucasian slave master as our external oppressor. What I mean by unique is something instinctively different from being an Israelite, Kemetic, or Arab size, etc. We have not achieved this true freedom of identity nor our own land and government in this way of manner, which is why we are in the same sadistic predicament we're in as a people. Until I reveal more of what I'm saying, being my time now is not extended to share more insight on this subject. Until I reveal more truth next time, peace.
deem fit. Make you believe what they wanted you to believe and things of this nature. They wanted that voice. Well, I told my uncle, and I told my Christian pastor friends, if I believed in Christianity, I could speak. You don't have to pay me. I could speak freely and from the heart. If I believed in Islam, you don't have to pay me. I'll be happy to stand up for Allah. I stand up for that which the Quran represents. You don't have to give me nothing. Because it's not just for me. It's what's in the best interest of the people. Our people, the people of soul, the so-called Negro, the black, the African Americans, these who are the descendants of slaves, born in America, having dark skin, those of whom I am birthed from. If I thought it was beneficial, you don't have to give me a dime. I don't want your money. I don't want fancy cars. I don't want women. What do I want? I want us free. And the Bible says the only way that we can get free, the only way we can be made free or set free is that we must be given truth. So we have been given the Bible and the people are not free. We've been given the Quran and the people are not free. We've been given Kemetic teachings. The people are in no way improving. We are not free. We've experienced Nuwabian teachings and all these things that y'all love. But the scriptures say, without truth, you cannot be set free. And for me, it's not about women. It's not about diamonds and gold and all this material garbage. Whereas a devil is tempting you, as the Quran said, the devil is tempting you to go off the right path. And when I was in Islam, well, excuse me, I'm tongue-tied. When I was in Islam, I prayed to Allah, oh Allah, guide me, keep me on the right path. So do you think just because I no longer believe in the Quran, or believe in the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, or follow Louis Farrakhan, do you believe that God would abandon me? Is God interested in a title? Is God interested in a label? Or is God really interested in the sincerity of the heart? I have proven myself sincere because I reject the money I know I could make preaching Jesus Christ. I know the money, the celebrity, and the fame I could make if I preached Islam. Or perhaps I joined Sarah Susan Seti and young Pharaoh teaching Kemetic stuff or whatever. I know the celebrity and the fame. It would be almost overnight. I know what I could. But I cannot do that because I know in my heart that these things, and I see with my own eyes, these things are not working. And it is insanity to continue on a path that is not working. So why would I deny myself? Who cares about these Negroes? Why would I deny myself the women, the fame, the celebrity, the money, everything if I preached other than real truth? Because I love us. Because I love myself. And because I love myself, I love us. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you dislike me. I don't care what you think about me. Brother, soul brother and sister, I love us to death. I am like the Jesus Christ. Even though you my enemy, I will love you. I am like the Jesus Christ. Even though you hit me in the left cheek, I will turn my right for you. For you. Because you don't know what you're doing. You're ignorant, you're lost, and you're out there. But we as a people, somebody has to stand up. Somebody has to stay strong and show us the right direction. Because we have been living in a hell going on for 500 years. And somebody has to show us the way out. And you talk about you believe in God. God is showing you the way out. But you don't want to see, because truth is not coming in the vessel that you want it to become. But God gave you your way, gave you your cup, gave you the way, and you failed. And you failed. So now, the creation or time comes from a different direction. And you are asked to get on board the soul train. Bring the soul back to this lifeless body. Bring this body back to life. To be truly raised from the dead. You deserve heaven after all this hell. You are innocent. We are victims. Don't you think it's about time that we enjoy life instead of always crying and whining and being a victim of death and destruction and mockery? It's your time. It's our time. Truth has come for real. Not a little bit of the truth, the real full truth. Lay a strong foundation, and if you build on this foundation, nothing can stop you. The sky's the limit. Oh Allah, guide us on the right path. I'm telling you that this is the right path. Thank you for listening. Jot down your comments. Let's talk about it. Until next time, y'all. Love, peace, and